What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy. For a bit of a one-off, I'm actually looking for some feedback, some input on some things. Three things in particular, I think. If I think of another along the way, then I'll mention that too. But at least three things. So, first off, I'm kind of thinking about changing the timing of when my YouTube videos are released each day. So far, I've been sticking with 7 a.m. It's 7 a.m. U.S. Central Time as kind of my go-to. But it's like, how many people are actually going to be watching first thing in the morning? Also, I don't need to be trying to compete with Good Mythical Morning or anything like that. I don't know when their videos release exactly, but it's in the morning, Monday through Friday. Just like my videos release in the morning, Monday through Friday. So that's one of the things I'm curious about. Like, when would you all prefer my videos go up? I'm leaning towards maybe sometime like late afternoon or early evening. Maybe then I could even like be there live in the comments when they release on some days anyway. I definitely couldn't do that for every day, but some days I could potentially be there live and able to answer comments. I guess that's the whole point of doing like video premieres and stuff. So maybe I could even have that as a thing. I don't know if that affects the YouTube algorithm at all, but it's not like it could be much more negatively affected in relation to my videos. So, might be worth a shot. But let me know your thoughts on that down below. Next item of business. Streaming. I've been doing some live streaming. Some weeks I haven't quite been able to do it because of either being sick or having other plans. Different things like that. But for the most part, I'm trying to have live streams as a fairly regular thing. The question is, should I keep doing them on YouTube, or should I move them over to Twitch? I realize that Twitch is a bigger platform with regards to live streaming. However, I'm not familiar with a lot of the ways that Twitch works. I'm not super familiar with, like, for example, what all is involved with gifting subs to people. I mean, I assume whoever is gifting it is, like, they've paid for the sub or whatever and then given it to somebody else. And, like, I'm not even entirely sure about all the different perks related to that. I know there's, like, possible custom and or just in general added, like, emojis and reactions and stuff people can leave in the chat, but I'm not super familiar with the whole Twitch, like, ecosystem and all that stuff and how that all works. The main reason I'm considering moving over to Twitch is, once again, because it's a larger streaming platform. I mean, I still don't know if that would make a ton of difference for me. The thing is, I mean, I have had, like, a couple of people pop into my live streams and comment and stuff like that, even on YouTube. So, like, do I want to possibly push those people out with a move over to Twitch just so I can get more numbers? I'm not really that kind of person. I don't know. So once again, leave thoughts down in the comments. Keep the live streams on YouTube or move them over to Twitch. Oh, before I get to the last one, I will probably be doing like polls and or just generally asking about these things on my various social media pages in the near future as well, if I haven't already. But it's going to be an ongoing thing. I will. Some of these I'd like to decide on sooner rather than later. Others, especially like the next one that I'm going to talk about, might be a little further ahead. Like maybe start up next year kind of thing. So, with that in mind, the last thing that I'm thinking of that I would like some input on is, so I'm thinking long term, if I really, really want this YouTube live stream stuff to be a significant thing, I'm gonna need to have more time available for it, but I also need money, so I will need a way to turn that into a source of income. Thus, I'm thinking about adding a Patreon sometime in the future. I guess part A of input I'm looking for on this is, do you think I should make a Patreon? I see no particular reason not to long term when it comes to, this channel and the stuff that I'm doing. But maybe there's something I'm not thinking about related to it. I don't know. So, Patreon, yes or no? But part B of that, what do you think might be some, rewards that would be fitting for, contributors? Like, there's some kind of obvious stuff like, hey, if you give it this tier, you get a shout out in my videos. Maybe at a different tier, probably whatever one of the higher tiers would be, I might have kind of, patron specific or patron exclusive live streams. Those would pretty much have to be done on YouTube. And like, I'm not entirely sure how I would work that, but patron specific live streams that only those people would have access to. Kind of need to figure out how to share my live streams and get a link to those first, but it's in progress. Another part of the reason I'm doing live streaming now, to sort of help me figure this stuff out. Last thing related to possible Patreon. All right, so I'm also trying to think through possible names for the donor or patron tiers that would be on Patreon. And I'm pretty sure I have the general theme idea of what those names would be, but I'm not quite sure about the exact words that I want to use there. So, the thought process is derived from, like, my whole intro and outro bits, where I, like, since day one, I've done the whole what's up cool people thing, and so, obviously, all of you are the cool people, but there are other words, other adjectives that could be used to describe further levels of being cool. What I'm wondering is what different people consider higher or lower tiers of cool. So you might have cool as tier 1. Next would be like awesome. And then maybe you'd have epic and different things like that. I would think I mean, I'm not going to put a cap on how many different words could be used. I would probably end up using no more than like 5. I don't think Patreon really does any more than like 5 different tiers of patrons anyway. I'm not super familiar with Patreon either, so I don't know for sure on that. But I wouldn't see myself going much past 5 anyway. 5 seems like... anything past that seems like it would be too many different levels. And I'm trying too hard to get people to give more. Or have, like, you know, just tiny little differentiations in the perks and all that kind of stuff. And just, nah. So... You can comment with more if you want, but on the whole, I'm thinking 5 is probably the max number that I would use of different adjectives similar to cool that would essentially describe the various levels of coolness and thus be the names of my Patreon donor tiers. So, again, let me know down below. So, recap. Live streams. YouTube or Twitch. Video release times. When should those be? And then, Patreon stuff. Yes or no to doing that? What would be some interesting rewards? And what do you think different levels of cool would be that I could name the different Patreon tiers? Anyway, so that's, I think, it, really, in terms of different things I'm looking for input on. And again, I think I will kind of put those out there, if I haven't already, on my other social media pages to see, just to try and get as many different sources of input as possible on this. So anyway, that's going to do it for this time around, I guess. Just kind of looking toward the future of this channel and what I might do here. I don't know why. Right before I started making this video and trying to think of, like, what I might name it, my brain went to the old, like, epic rap battles thing, where they ended with the whole, like, who won? Who's next? You decide thing. Except, in this case, it'll be, what's next for my channel? You decide. Anyway, okay. Otherwise, that's it. So, you know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell, all that good stuff. Look down in the description for info on other social media pages and any other info you might want to know in regards to interacting and keeping up with stuff. And as I've said probably like 5 times or more now, leave comments down below with your thoughts. I'd prefer it be related to this, but, you know, if you have other video ideas and stuff, I'll read those too. I'll you know, take some feedback on that as well. But anyway, that's it. 100% officially. So, hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you for the next one. But until then, stay cool, people.